Are you okay?
Yeah, I open your page, Daddy. Name Majora's Mask, and he's not getting
What are you, some kind of idiot? What a horrifying thing to come back to. God damn. Hey, dude. Larry, you really helped out at the trial today. You did. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. You just spoiled the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? Right before the stream started, Firefox broke all my extensions. What are you gonna do now? Doop, doop, doop. Where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. Just use Waterfox. What emote is that? Just use Waterfox forehead. Can you really know he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm gonna believe in you two till the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Nah, he means me, right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Is a setting, but it's only in the beta version, so I have to install and use that now. Fuck. Enough with the silent treatment. Alright, gamers. This program is brought to you by Sam's Cola and also Twist Up. And we're gonna do this number. Is that the man who created Hollywood Acid live on stream? And drank it? And survived? Nasty. Why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? He didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yep, in grade school. They saved me. Miles and Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. We got new music, gamers. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? To Gnome. It's not November, though. To Gnome. I kind of do like the idea of bringing the gnome back at some point, but I feel like it's a little too early. Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kind of forgot. No, it won't be funny if you overuse it. That's why we gotta gnome him. Right? I feel like the gnome joke will be better in post if this ever gets turned into a condensed video on YouTube. So hang in there. This is the very end of 3rd grade. A class trial? What? You remember Larry? Spring, end of 3rd grade? A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. This kid's envelope disappeared, with $38 still inside. Now you mention I do remember that. I can see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. The envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. They thought you did it? Yep. Kids in class said I should be put on trial. Go to the classroom trial with me as the defendant. You know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad. I couldn't stop crying. And everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy whose money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. You shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs! Look at this little tiny boy, Edgeworth. It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? And you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That's why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. This is always how it is. Everyone ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. I'll face the money myself. This class trial is over. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? So who did it? So when I heard his father was a defense attorney, and I remember his eyes would shine every time he talked about his father. I'm gonna become a defense attorney, just like my daddy. A famous defense attorney. That's what probably had to do with his father's death. Several years later, when I heard Edgeworth's name again, there was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. Couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. And that's when I decided. That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me and I believed in him. He's in pain and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa. Nick. Is that why you helped me out for free? Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. We gotta save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Is that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Like what? I know there's some things missing because... I don't know what though. Edgy. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about this class trial. What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. The lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, right. I do remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, right? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. How do you mean? My father was taken from me and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, right? But I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. And he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. 15 years ago. What was his name? Laurel. That is a joke so out of date. I don't even have a smart comment about it. But there is a joke set up for anyone who wants to pick up that phone. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation, and I'd lost all memory of the murder. Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. That's when I changed my mind. Started to hate defense attorneys. Von Karma. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. Learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. But he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he's obsessed with doing everything perfectly. In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved, and not one suspect was declared innocent ever. I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. It is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job, to find the suspect guilty perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. You're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right. Now is no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. Here's a picture of your dead dad. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. He won't be coming back today. There was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. Catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Okay. Close one today, huh? I got so worked up I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No problem, pal. Thanks to you, we now know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. Now I'm off to catch me a criminal. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today. One other thing. No one can go into the woods today. Woods? The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while. Guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. The old caretaker got away. Never imagined he might be the real murderer. It's Grossberg. What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, hmm? The days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see? He said the thing. Mr. Grossberg, this is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trials end tomorrow. That's true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye. He's home. Hello. Hello. It's Polly. Wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello. Hello. I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to defend for herself. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228. Let's open it. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Aw. But hey, he keeps it locked, right? There must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Let's see what's in there. The only thing in here is a letter. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here? How should I know? I'm gonna read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now it's the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail, how to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. Looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. I don't know, okay? One thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. If you need instructions, you can just leave him the metal detector in exchange. Maybe we better not. Well, we found something. Maybe we take it to Grossberg. Gersberg? safe in the shack where that boat caretaker lives. I see. Revenge on me? I don't know. Nice, right? Last chance. Maybe he's talking about the statute. Statitude? How can you not say words, dude? I have trouble sometimes. Also don't say stat-ood. Maybe he's talking about the stat-ood of limitations on the DL6 incident. You know who he is? Yogi. Could it be Yogi? Frostberg. There must be something more to do. Oh. Never mind. Just when I saw the TV, I remembered. Showing a Pink Princess special this week. Great. I've got an idea. Or not here. Oh, we can't go back in the files. Damn, that's what my idea was. Yeah, there we go. Everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The air thinned and the darkness closed in on us like in that little box. It became unsettled. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in the hospital bed staring up at the ceiling. Before Yana Yogi's mental condition was called into question, they claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. Yogi was found innocent. But isn't that strange? The letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. It's a nightmare I've had. I think the time has come to tell all. Last 15 years I've had almost the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every night. I dream about my father's killing in the dark. I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was evidence from that day in court or the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. He threw the gun. And with that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. It's a scream that's rung in my ears for the past 15 years. I thought it was the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. What if I'm wrong? It's real. Sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. Think about it that way, this letter makes sense. Get revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. There's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6, maybe. No, it wants me to grow to Grossberg. But Mr. Grossberg. My. Just calm down and tell me what's happened. It's Mr. Edgeworth. No, succ. I went. Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father? I wonder. That's the case, then why do you two look so troubled? So consider this. Yogi quite certainly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth, so deep he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise. Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream, it was real. As you mentioned. Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired and the deed was done. I don't believe it. Yogi was suspected of murder and his career as a bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the limitations so close. Fuck you guys. Okay. It's just statute. For some reason I thought there were more syllables than that. Syllables. We need to talk to this guy more, actually. Edgeworth. He was a defense attorney without peer. Sounds trite, but it's true. You may think he may have had one peer, now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey. Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques. Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. He has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods. And he lost. And died in despair, as it were. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. It was your mother. Yet Yogi was found innocent. Seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. You're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? It's only a possibility, mind you. A possibility nonetheless. As a gifted man, his death was truly a loss. I wonder what would have become of Von Karma were he alive. His own sake? He never trusted his clients, that one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability. Why should it matter? It's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially he was ruined. You'll understand soon enough. Wait. This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before a long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? You have any idea who wrote this? How would he have something to do with this? I'm not sure. You're right. This is Von Karma's handwriting. I'm sure of it. I used to see it all the time on court reports. That means the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was Manfred Von Karma himself. What does this mean then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? If it truly was Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. How could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. You know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. How do you mean? It's 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win. But he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. What happened in the trial? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial, but Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood. Faulty evidence? It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. An unusual event for the man. It was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. To go to the sea or to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe. You have strange ideas about vacations, man. In any case, it was the only time he took a vacation from work, and I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. He takes such a long vacation. What do we do? Von Karma is going to bring up DL6, you can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty on DL6? I hate to say this, but even accidental murder is murder, you know? I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I believe he'd kill somebody. Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose I could go check again. Police files might hold something of interest. Can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. Must be out looking for the old guy Yogi. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. He's staying out late looking for somebody. I'm wondering if check the room. Well, now I can't have anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma is in there now anyway. You can go in there as long as he's in there. He's just arrived, actually. The fuck is happening? What's Von Karma gonna look from the front? Dusty as always. We were only here just yesterday. I'm sure they haven't had time to clean. What's wrong? Nothing. I just noticed he wasn't here. One of the drawers here is open. Someone must have been looking at it recently. File for DL6 is completely empty. Von Karma. Looks horrifying from the front. You. How do you know my name? Have we met? What do you say? We see each other every day, don't we? We're Miles Edgeworth's defense team. Defense team? I beg your pardon? You see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. They're like bugs to me, needless things to be crushed. Mr. Edgeworth is your student, right? A romanticist who still can't shed that veneer of amateurism. Just like his father, always second rate. Mr. Von Karma, you had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you? A grudge against a mere defense attorney? Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record? Huh. So you did. But what I don't get is, why did you take his son under your wing afterwards? Son of your most bitter rival. That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you will lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit his own guilt. His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean? You're quite the researcher. You've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow. How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after he read it. Yes, my dear defense attorney, thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You saved me from a lot of needless hassle. Holy fuck. He's gonna steal it from us. Indeed. 600,000 volts will course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence. Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it, usually. Now give me the letter. What are you... Nick, run! Give me the lettuce. She is dead. Did you take it? Yeah, are you alright? Wish I hadn't have woken up at all. There has to be some way I can help her. I better do something about her self-confidence first. She's holding something. A bullet? Taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. When Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. Prove it to you, Maya. You're most definitely not useless. Oh, so we're going to trial right now with no extra evidence. We in fact have less evidence. Okay, interesting. November 28th. This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Really touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maybe you should go outside and discharge. Good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way. Is it butts? Nope. He said pal. I should have known it was gumshoe. What's gotten into that girl? Morning. Mr. Edgeworth? Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Must be tired. Actually, after all that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Just remember, and I'm gonna prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The prosecution is ready. I ask that the prosecution submit the decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you will remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. My testimony yesterday stands as is. Begin the cross-examination, shall we? We'll just start from the beginning. I'd call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. They said the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. Then why did you leave? Come on. Just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when somebody's talking? Food? Huh, he's a bit of a gourmand, you see. He only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. We only have them in the big pet shop downtown. You weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kinda got lost. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. You lost much of your memory. Is that correct? And how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, huh? You know exactly who you are. Claim is lying, then show the court proof. Alright, very well, witness, please continue. We give him the parrot? The bird is a decisive witness. Oh. No. The bird could. It's. This is one of those things where I know I'm right, but I'm not at the step the game wants me to take. We've got some sort of evidence. What do we got? Maybe this is it? Maybe this is what I have to present? Let's save. We're not at the DL6 part yet. You say you had no motive. I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on him, right? Witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. You've been saying the same thing over and over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. Does this really have anything to do with the current case? It was... I fucking hate this shit when it's like... When, like, I'm on the right track, but the game is like, well, first press him a whole bunch, and then something new happens. I hate this shit. No one has said he has nothing to do with this case and has no motive. Both of these statements are lies. There's a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. Who is he? Yogi. That name seems familiar. From the DL6 incident. What does this mean? To be fair, he was saying he has nothing to do with the boat murder, not DL6. But I still think from like the presses saying he's connected to DL6 doesn't contradict his testimony. It doesn't contradict his. It kind of does, because then it gives him a motive. It still gives him a motive, though, right? He says he has nothing to do with it, but then both of the birds saying "Don't forget about DL6" and the file on DL6 does give him a motive, and I feel like that it's not incorrect. Not if you haven't proven that he has his memory. I mean, but that's the thing, right? Is that even if he doesn't have his memory, the bird remembers everything. That, because like, even with the bird, it seems like he's a forgetful guy anyway. But the bird has a whole bunch of shit. Has a whole bunch of knowledge in his noggin. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have his memory. He just asked the bird, and the bird would tell him, "Go do a murder." Squawk. I think it works both ways. Coming to conclusion again, Mr. Wright. How do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. Allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. So very sorry, Mr. Wright. Witness has no fingerprints. Before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. Burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep. Will not be able to prove his identity. It's the bird. I already wanted to throw the bird at him and it would have proved everything, but the game won't let me. might even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? I could cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot. Your Honor, defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. On my proposal? I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. What do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Mr. Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. If you're so desperate, then please be my guest. If you go through with this and nothing comes of it, I hope you're ready for the consequences. I'd like to cross-examine this man's parrot. Cross-examiner, Your Honor. Bring in the parrot. It's animated. Wow. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name. The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Well, who is your owner? Please testify for us. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Begin your cross-examination. I don't know. What do we do? Ah! Guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Have we forgotten something? Hello. It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot. He trained her not to respond if we asked if we'd forgotten anything. Fuck! You must speak to me. Can't believe that you're speaking to the parrot. Present the parrot to the parrot. Perfect. We've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with your owner's identity? I don't think so. This doesn't really have anything to do with that? No. What a reckless parrot. Oh, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. $12.28. Yo, we got it. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this note to... Well, there we go. The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Where in this file is something relating to the safe number? I mean, case summary? Yeah. It's on the case summary page. The date on which the DL6 incident occurred. That's today's date, 15 years ago. The number on that safe is 1228. Use the date of the DL6 incident as a number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. It's a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We need some other corroborating evidence. Oh, maybe Polly does have something to do with it. It is good that he would just tell the court. Polly Jenkins. Ha! I didn't even read it. Press the bird. And that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity, then show us this proof. We're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. It's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? Show us, or stop wasting our time. Suspect either, yes? Page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. Objection! Mere coincidence. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix, right? Does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately! Immediately! Witness? Tell us her name. This witness, he doesn't remember. It's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. So it was you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes. That put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said it was mentally unsound. Told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. I didn't have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. And this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take revenge on the people who ruined my life. I don't care who had sent it. But this is my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Under arrest, Your Honor. Saw no room for error in his confession. innocent, in this case at least. Defendant, please take the stand. There are a few mysteries left unsolved, though you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. I'd like to pass judgment on the murder of Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edworth, not guilty. Yay! That is all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
He knew. Wasn't Von Karma. That means... I object to your judgment. I only have this one animation where I'm standing on the right side of the screen and pointing to the left. What do you mean? I am not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? I don't have an objection yet, though. I just noticed that Von Karma's text box says Karma and not Von Karma, like in the DS version. I don't want to raise... I feel like... I'll raise an objection. Oh, shit. I'm sure Edward thought about this one long and hard. There's nothing we can do about it. I didn't want to do that, though! Damn it, I fucking fat-fingered the button. I have had a recurring dream, a nightmare. Now I know. It wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. In the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me, Your Honor. I confess my guilt. The culprit is me. Certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the word of limitations runs out today. I forgot it. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. We hold a trial right here, right now. We try this man for a crime of different years ago. Yes, I understand. But every time I see the word, my brain gets flabbergasted. And I read the word statue in your sentence, and I was like, oh, it's statue. During this time, I'll consider the appropriate course of action to take. Roman sees SD and things stuttered, and so he does. Sorry, alright? I've just wasted all of your efforts. Kill your dad? I didn't want to believe in myself, detective, but it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Huh? Then obviously I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe you're a nightmare. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. But do I get my lives back? Miles Edgeworth has admitted to his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let's begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. No, Your Honor. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? I'm a prosecuting attorney. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. And testify about this matter to the court. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key. but only if I can get it to work. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi, and I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. So I'm gonna guess it's because the pistol was fired more times than that. Not that pistol. The bear's cleared ballistic markings. The murder weapon was fired twice. The gun fired once. I think. After I threw it, I lost consciousness. It echoed in my head every day. Let's start with this. Also, I don't get my lives back. You sure you only heard one gunshot? I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream, and everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. I gotta check every time. Victim data. This quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, he really likes that shoulder of his. This incident occurred 15 years ago. Yeah, evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired and the other shot fired had something to do with this case? Yes. Okay. Totally. Okay. I got it. Picture. Bullet hole in the fucking thing. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. It's gotta be this. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Aha, edgelord's dead. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. Def Leppard's photograph. This photo proves it. Please, get a clue. That should be obvious. The contradiction is here. Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. What are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness. Something. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by somebody else. The murderer, of course. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. The pistol has indeed been fired 2 times, and the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. There's undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole. Mr. Wright has proven one thing that was quite clear, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. All we have is a single bullet. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense claim. Second bullet wasn't there, then there was my conjecture all along. I saw the photograph, I thought the 2 shots had been fired, I was so certain of it. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot, but no, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. One bullet was fired at the scene of the crime, that shot was fired by Edgeworth. Ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Have any objections? You killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Gerger runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Didn't have any objections? Is it right? I object. On what grounds do you object, It must exist. The second bullet. What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist, but where? Someone took it. Seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. We just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us just who is his murderer. I'm still thinking about that one. The criminal took the second bullet, but why? First of all, how would they have found it? Not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Is there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? They had to find it. That's why they took her. Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with them is the bullet would be proof. Maybe they thought the bullet would be used as proof. It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Why would they only take one of the 2 shots fired? We really thought this through? We're gonna have to maybe he didn't need it. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Just take the bullet. Just take it out. Just take the bullet out. Thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet. For instance, maybe the bullet hit the murderer. Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you'd have to take it with you, wouldn't it? Not like you could perform surgery right there, you know? Wait a second, I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's what really happened? They left with the second bullet still inside of them, leaving only 1 bullet at the scene of the crime? I guess that's how it would work, yeah. There's a problem with that. The other 2 people rescued from that elevator were both unharmed, so that would mean murder came from outside, yes. The 2 men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. Pistol just discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. Boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the man inside. That's right, you were truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. Until you're grasping it, I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. Deny it. No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. So that's nothing really crazy. Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. This has been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months. Unusual event. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. It was Von Karma. I fucking knew it. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Can you give us the name of your suspect? I was the one who said something, and then we both knew it. Do we save it for a better time? What the fuck? You have a clip of this. But what would be a better time? That's a good question. Like, when would be a better time? Like, let's think. I don't know. Do it now. Fuck it. Do it now! Here's the suspect. One lone suspect. My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, the one standing right over there? You don't object. I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? Claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery. No. Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. It's no use. I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave the doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. It's metal detector time. What does that mean? The bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? What if it's in his arm? What if it's inside the man? I'll even use evidence. The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. Where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? There's only one way to find out. You could use this metal detector. I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. He's sweating, dude. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? The defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove this? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder is from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. Well, we have one piece, which is also a bullet. So sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. This bullet. It's actually this bullet.
Take that!
A bullet? Where did you get that? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. It was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. If the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder, then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet, and solve this case once and for all. I've heard that scream before. Really? Just gonna remove it right here in the courtroom. Gun. I cast gun. That scream I've heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Now I'm pointing this way. It was you who screamed. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. It was a shock like none I'd ever known. Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black and the lights must have gone out. I went into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. The lights came back on, the elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from the oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. We were reusing this one, huh? In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who shot him. He spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. Mr. Miles Edgeworth? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Whee! That is all. This court is adjourned. Fuck. We did it. Did you see his face? Mudkarma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. It's finally over, Edgeworth. Right? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, right? You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Whoop! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Woo! I feel foolish. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. What the hell are you doing here? Are you supposed to be in jail? Yo, Edgeworth. Congrats. Thank you all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, huh? Speaking of which, you know, what are you doing now, Lotta? I went back to college. You know, in a day. That's all it takes. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? It's over, Nick. My life is over. I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Keonce. She's gonna live in Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Yo, Edgy. There you are. Yep. Here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Nick, that's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. That's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. Fucking Larry took the goddamn money. It's $38, right? What a weird amount. It's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Isn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth at school? Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Larry was absent that day from school, right? That doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Right? You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. This sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh? You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you've always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. The death sentence for both of you. If only I'd known I'd become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. That I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I'd known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Want to switch right? Hey, y'all. Line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, let's go. After that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out onto the town that night. Nobody survived. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. It's almost my birthday. I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? The first trains for the mountains have already left. Fucking, we're never gonna see her again. She's gone forever. Guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? You're leaving? It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, alright? Wait, what? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Only her voice. Still, it was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. That's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped. And Mr. Grossberg and even Larry. Only one who couldn't help. That was useless, Nick. You were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. I have evidence that you helped. Give her the gun. Give her the parrot. She took the bullet back, right? Shoot me. This was the evidence, right? I'm just double checking. Bullet.
Take that!
A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to Deal 6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence that we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. I'm gonna complete my training and come back. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. This is it. See you soon, Maya. She's gone forever, dude. She's never coming back. She's basically dead. Time to turn a new page. Say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. A new story begins. The same old crazy cast of characters. Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. I got a bad feeling about this.
Objection!
Yeah. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Woo! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Come one, sit. Huh? Nick? I haven't seen him lately. With me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you'd call a cheap date. She's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Wait, are these the credits? Hi, Zap. We beat all 3 games, and it's time to move on to my next mystery game instead of Bloodborne. Who? Right? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. All 3? No, that was a joke, dude. There are 2 sets of credits to the first game. Fuck me. We just did the second to last case in game 1. Phoenix Wright? The defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for. Oh, you should know, I've taken over management at the Gatewater Hotel. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. I haven't seen him of late. The days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Yar, the days of me youth. Like the scent of fresh, scurvy, preventing lemon, you see. Yar. Phoenix Wright, is he an actor? I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Also, what other mystery? Maybe there's a mystery game, maybe there's not. Alright, listen. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. I'm keeping my face out of the public eye until the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Pajama Sam 3. The Re-Pajamaning. I got a letter from Maya the other day. Sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. All right. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. What a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy my tender age. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Hey, I've been trying to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind him, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. Oh, so it was Gumshoe this whole time with the confetti. In every Phoenix Wright game, he's the guy who does the confetti. Every single game. Nobody else. Episode 5. The secret Nintendo DS exclusive episode. Look at them graphics. These are in the manual or something of his throwing confetti from the gallery. Nice. Animation. Wow. $3D. You only get this kind of power on the Nintendo DS. Been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single try. I've had offers, but none I took. That is until the day that girl showed up. February 22nd. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the copy boy? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? That's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief, then. You're better than nobody. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you're Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please! I'm out of time. You have to help. It's my sister. Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. I'm a real attorney. It's my attorney's badge. Ah, well, I've never seen a real one before. You're the first one who's actually been interested in mine, believe me. Its composition is mostly silver. The gold plating is flaking a bit. She analyzed it scientifically. There doesn't appear to be any corrosion due to sulfides. I'd give you $50 for it. It's not for sale yet. You're a scientific investigator? Something wrong? You seem kinda jumpy. Maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. So what is your current position then? Legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. The future professional in training. What's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab anyone with a knife. She wouldn't. The murder case. I know she didn't do it. It's scientific fact. There's a witness. Just talk to her. You'll have to talk to her. Promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but... how'd she know Mia? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigations should be done scientifically, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure my sister's name will be clear. Been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school. She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And, well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. It's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. She's my only family. They died in a car accident when I was little. They died in a car accident. All around me are buttons. Thought I told you I didn't want visitors. Sorry, ma'am, it's just your sister. No excuses. Or did you not want to raise this year? Hi, Lana. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing? I didn't want to come here either, alright? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. Sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name's Lana. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Want a lawyer? Could this be a coincidence? I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Something you should know from the start, which is, the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. The suspect is... me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright, well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. It's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. It was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed as it were. So who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? What does it mean? It means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have found me guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do it. The case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. You're the chief prosecutor? That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by the prosecutors in this district. I'll make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. I'm a little surprised. I would think that you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. What happened to your hand? I was just about to ask. I cut myself by accident when I stabbed him, that is. Not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. Time to change the subject. You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. He has a very little in common with Mia. Hey! I was in law school. I was in my third year, and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. Sounds a bit different when Emma says it. As you can plainly see, I am admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say that there's no way you can take this case none. Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it. How can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. Okay. Mr. Wright. I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed. After all, the case is over. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes, but something doesn't fit. That look in Emma's eyes. Something else going on here, and I'm gonna find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. My sister, she's not always like that, you know? She's never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling, and everybody liked her. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... well, maybe not. Go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. Okay. Wow. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office would be like this. What are you thinking? They're gonna be my co-workers 3 years from now on, after all. No harm in saying hello. There is. You know, attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. Try not to stand out too much here, see? Hey there. You expecting to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? It's a real-life cowboy. What do we have here? Looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. If he yeehaws, I swear to God. Mr. Marshall, it'd be noon in the present location. Looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, Bambina. I know how you feel. This is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a motherload of evidence. You're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. Finger guns. Bang, ba, ba, bang, bang, ba, bang, bang, ba, bang. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You wanna? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Was that a hombre a friend of yours? Kind of. Yeah, he's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. She's so suck. Jer play? Present the evidence. Or just Jer, I'm sorry. What evidence? She's so suck. The suck evidence. Love has seen it. But do it again. Because I want to see it. I clipped it. Remember? I do remember this, now that you mentioned that. What am I doing? I just found the wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything in a crime scene is evidence. Be scientific about this. Just put it in your pocket. How is that scientific? It sounds like theft to me. I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? I can tell she's been waiting for this. Look at the court record. I have some kind of injury in my right hand. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. I'll start examining from every angle. HNBM. I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out. Oh, baby, look at these graphics. Actually, went away when I crapped my thumb. What the fuck? Sergeant Bruce Goodman. See? Isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess. No, I don't see what science has to do with it. I guess I don't have injury. Well, that's good news. Be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Maybe it's both, kind of a dual purpose. Aha! The theory of relativity. Gotta write this down. Mr. Wright, maybe you know, was Mr. Relativity German? Or was he British? Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name? I do have a sty, though. That's not fun. I don't remember what that is. A door! This must mean something. It won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. It's a ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. All seems so horribly familiar somehow. Is this a meme? Step ladders versus ladders? Yes. It's like an infection on my eyelid. Eugh. You're not my real ladder. A phone. Let's see if it works. Don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears! My ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What'd you just say? You can hear just fine. The phone's broken. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water. It's heavy. The drum over here is on its side. I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout. Think I'll probably just get arrested. You might even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. Oh boy. Emma is a dork. I get gigantic dork vibes from this lady. Yeah, dude. Hey, look, somebody's phone. No time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of coming home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here's our claim. You'd best be moseying along, lest you're fixing to bite the bullet. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, the little filly's got a good nose on her. Wanna know who rides that red Mustang with the body in her saddle, huh? No problem, partner. About time for victuals anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor of the prospector's office. I just find you a... I'm not familiar with that cowboy terminology. Cerveza? Prospector's office? Where does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter? So, look up Vittles, Saloon, Cerveza. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, just keep your paws off our claim. Maybe there's some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me? Are you two all set? It's a lady with jelly donuts in her hair. You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes? Some crunchy goodness coming at you. Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passersby. Or are you officers? You don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Oh, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even if my days as the cough-up queen are over. What? I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. Quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned in my eyes, as you might say. All the sordid secrets. Secrets? You are a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder. The stabbing of that detective. What? You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please, cough up queen, tell us what happened. The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. She has 2 different colored eyeballs. Like a cat. She's got jelly donuts in her hair. Like a cat. She has fur. Like a cat. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was gonna happen. Just like you know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. The sausage necklace is so good, right? Prosecutors, they have no qualms at all about blackening the name of innocence. Yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday. I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. You have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find why they call me the cough-out queen. The most heinous of all evil ones, the one that they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Was it Edgeworth? Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. I'm totally confused. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Starr? It's a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see, and very emotional, apparently. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears, and the rhythmic beat of Lana Skye's knife. You know Lana Skye? Of course. It's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Did we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Starr? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No? Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell somebody who has tried General Tso's Trilobite lunch set. Okay. Never mind, you win. I don't even want to appreciate part of a Trilobite's flavor. I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Is it the cowboy? See the security room over there? The glass-walled booth? No, it's not the cowboy. Fuck. I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Guess selling lunches is more important than romance. So to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Starr, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis. None. Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Starr? I sense some hostility. Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kinda like 10-day-old clams in the chowder. Wonder if Miss Starr was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning. Scientifically speaking, of course. How are you talking? Now you're talking, cough up queen. Thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. Examine. I can't pan over anymore. Game sucks. The trailer's not tipped over anymore. It's got a faucet for water. I know. This wall is merely a facade, hiding the truth. This is no wall, but it's a water tank. Gotta see how it makes a difference either way. Stylish glass-walled room. Very nice. You can see the whole parking lot from in there. It says security. Maybe it's a cafe. Cafe security. That must be it. Let's check it out later. That's probably just a security guard office. You know, I scored a 97 test, and I scored a 97 on my science test the other day. Too bad they don't have a test for common sense. Get fucking sassed. I see that coat. This is the kind of room that just screams I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. There's a trophy or something here. What, that shield? Takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? There's our boy. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? You know him from somewhere? Of course. I'm his biggest fan. My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister is the chief prosecutor. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. It was just Mr. Wright here. Hey, don't blame me. We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What is this face? I've never seen this before. Your car? Say one thing, she certainly can scream. That's gross, dude. A chessboard. Not too up on my chest, but it looks like blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? What's with the samurai? My. What an amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth. There's a card on it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Something written at the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. She Mr. Edgeworth's fiancée? I don't think so. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It's got a big K on it. Those are prosecutors. Huh? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So? So that K, that's... K stands for King. Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing. Kinda like Employee of the Month, only better. This is evidence? Excuse me? So the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait. I mean, she didn't do that. Wait. So, you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. That didn't sound forced at all. Edgeworth's car reminded me of this video. I'm gonna click on it, and everyone's gonna get to. You know what? I'm just gonna mute my audio real quick. Here we go. Man, that's a good video. I can't believe Edgeworth fucking drifts. Right at the end there. I'll admit, it was a surprise for me too. To think that my own car would become the scene of, you know, a place of a crime. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Lana Sky is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life. Impossible to stop. I hate this fucking face. It's very good, though. Some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. I think it's funny. Chief Prosecutor Sky. We worked that together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why did she stab somebody in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. Your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. The handle's the same exact shade of, like, it's not quite pink, but it's like, red suit, red car, red knife. Can somebody Google search the exact name for this shade of red? Maroon? Maroon, mate, probably. You're a maroon. I hate this video game. Fuck me, man. Every time I do that gag. Yeah, it's a maroon. You're a maroon. Are you sure you didn't? You sure you didn't do it? Come on, can you take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Freeze in. Stab him! It's against my policy to discuss evidence with the defense, especially with you. Edgeworth, it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. Hi, lady. You said you wanted some hot tea, right? You must have to brew the leaves for a long time to get rich flavor like this. We pre-infused I'm not gonna touch that with a 39.5 foot pole. I knew it. That's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. I just kicked my desk. Nothing I'm smelling here is wasted time. Here, have a knife. Con. Still can't scoot over there. What are we gonna do? Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. We can do this now. Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here. Looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. One guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner? That's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime. Oh boy. Kniffy. This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Maybe he spends his weekends roughing in the wild. Edgeworth? The wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. You kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. There's a scary thought. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID 5842189. What else would they use? Letters, silly. They're the reason we have a written language in the first place. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID Yabadab. Wouldn't that be better? Yabadab? Well, it doesn't have a certain ring to it. My point exactly. Fuck, what do I do now? Fuck! Bought this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card belonging to somebody else. Isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. You're showing this to me, the lunch lady. Why? It's like showing a fine honeyed ham knot to a detective. Come the fuck on! How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme Lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy. Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. Present. Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth. Then my sister would be found guilty. Says you're the best at the last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Why's that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. Right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. There he is. We found him. He was inside of Edgeworth's office this whole time. He was hiding in that suit. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? Got more important things to worry about. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday. Can you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. The ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. That's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. It's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. I'd appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Who the hell is you? Oh look, a ladder. You're right. Is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth, what is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow. Don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir. I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with this, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. Sir, I didn't know. Right. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. The victim was a detective from the same department as that patrolman just now. Go down to the police department, you can ask more there. Whoa, these are all case files? They're stacked up to the ceiling, there's even a ladder. Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. He must have someone get them for him. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? You must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool! You wouldn't say that after you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. Dude. February. We're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? It took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. What the hell is that? Animation! Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. It does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal, what are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Why are you dancing over there? Well... Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect on this case. Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. Yes, well, no. Come on, pal, there's plenty of evidence against her. What if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. Whoa! The chief prosecutor's little sister? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. It's a sensitive issue with us these days. What are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Nothing, really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe? What did you do this time? What do you mean this time? Well, what happened? I know things are busy right now. With my sister's case and all. It's true. Never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. One of the highest ranked people are being led into criminal affairs right now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. Important trial, but isn't that a little odd? Anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. An officer marshal was assigned to the underground parking lot. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that marshal guy. Patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal. I was wondering about that. Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. Animation! You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the battery dies. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance till he drops. This is evidence? What? You know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Wright, I always thought it was kind of funny. Never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Let me in! Behind those doors, a police drama in action. Present. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife. What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? I didn't mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Or Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? This dialogue sounds like it's right from a humongous entertainment game. Have you seen this trophy, Detective Gumshoe? I got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I'm wondering, why is the award a shield? Why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. What can you tell me about this? Hey pal, this is the It's a dude's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me in so much trouble all the time. Let's see, Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar. My mistake. Whoa, now I remember. He's the victim. This ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman would have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for the case he handled 2 years ago. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. That's the thing, it's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot.
Isn't a tough spot to get. Bang. Sploosh. Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney Hammond.
Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there've always been rumors about Edgeworth, forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. There's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. This latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. And I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. That's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? I meant the guy who... What's his name? The guy in the parking lot. To be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police. Is he kind of Wild West sheriff or something? Nope. Jake Marshall is just a regular officer from West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal. Let me try to make things a little easier for you. I'll show him this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Okay. What is this? Look here, it looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it's a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Annual bonus $20. I think a couple zeros are missing. That sounds about right, at least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Poor gum tree. I have to be getting back to the shop. Looks like I'll be stuck in the pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Why surprise looks, didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. Criminal affairs too. What's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. More cowboy music. Would you mind reading this for me? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. Maybe we investigate? That old cow dog. You holding a birthday party or something? Like where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. I'm getting all defensive here. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than the blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Reminds me. Wait a second. Isn't the crime being... Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Since it won't be needing this anymore. Could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Should be a little bit more specific. Bruce Goodman. Oh, I get it. He was a detective, right? Aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. A smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness. One stabbed to the chest. Fine piece of work. He Detectives here, the autopsy, the report of the death. The study of the death. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prospector Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Goodman wasn't a very gifted detective. That's one reason why I didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. So it seems like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. High noon somewhere in this world. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. Calling me out, they shoot you for that in Texas. I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. But you're a patrolman now. How can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason? We're just short on hands right now. Keep an eye out in the meantime. Mr. Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. Nothing but a sad old cow dog. Can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, huh? That cow dog's been kicked out of this cattle run. By order of Chief of Police. Just he don't realize it yet. What do you think about this? Alright, compadre, count to 3. Gotta do that if you're gonna drive and it's on somebody. That's what we do in Texas. I mean, never visit Texas. Scientific analysis would suggest that this belonged to the victim. Can't think of anyone else it would belong to. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls that you've made and received. Just press the blue button to display the last number you called. I mean, isn't it? I'm surprised you don't know about it. I don't even know about things like Redial. Just never know with people from your generation. Or I know about Redial.
Fuck. What do we press? Who the fuck knows?
To the owner of this phone called last. Defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Sour please. I know that. What's going on over there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? Belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. This call was made right when the murder occurred. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. No idea. Alright, partner. Another question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now, one of those newfangled ringtones. What? Your phone? It's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Hoo-wee! Examine. It's a rope. Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. The victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. quite a luxury car. It just screams I have money to burn. Prosecutors get the big bucks. Bhutan! Push Bhutan! Bhutan! This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think about it too deeply and you'll be fine. I feel like this grate's important. And slide. Hello. What is this? Tell me. Ah!
What will we do? I have a cell phone.
Last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. I don't know how to make that call. What a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know? Check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. Those are hard to come by, you know?
Push button.
There's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. The prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. Afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arraigning testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. Rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors who we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. You follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. They're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Sorry, that's Prospector. Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere and everyone knows it. I want to get to the next save spot and then call it a night. I'd like to say hi to Edgy. He's not even here, dude. She's not even here, dude. As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing on things I don't know about. Loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a
4.5-inch knife single stab wound.
Nope.
Can I not deal with this now that I'm out of the presence of the man? This is what the back of the badge looks like. I always thought they had a safety pin. Each badger has a number carved into it. That way you can tell which attorney it belongs to. You mean you couldn't lend your badge to anyone? I'd be found out right away. Really like the design of the defense attorney's badge. It's nice. It's bulky. I like it. Beefy. It's so weird that it's got like a screw though.
What will we do? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
Toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? Toy knight, maybe. Don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. When I was a detective, I got one of these. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? They could just use the same shield over and over. The prosecutor's office and the criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. You know it. I've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. Alright, compadre, count to 3. Just talk to me, you motherfucker. Already did this one. Inspector's bright red steed came in at a trot, real slow-like. And Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later, so it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. Oh my god. Are you talking to him about this, yes? Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough, we found it a good distance away from the crime scene. In this right hole, you want distance, get yourself to Texas. This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? You encounter suspicious evidence. Think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. You sure it's something with Marshall? What the fuck do you mean? There's a name printed on that, on the paper above that. Goodman. Fell out of his pocket when he was killed. How am I supposed to know? Deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth. Alright. How are we doing, Mr. Wright? There we go. I know that song your phone plays when it rings. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? One that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. Just after the murder took place, your sister called you. Can you tell me what you talked about? Baby, baby, baby. Alright. Tomorrow / today, you fuckers. Phoenix Wright does not return. And instead, Goro Majima and the other guy return. The less important guy. What's really important is that Mr. Eyepatch comes back. Kazuma Kiryu, who cares? Who cares? He's probably not even the main character of that game. It's clearly Majima. He's so unimportant. He doesn't matter. Bada bing, bada boom. We are out of here. So, tomorrow, we're going to see if we can close out Yakuza 0 for good. Hopefully. And maybe do some multiplayer shenanigans depending on how long that takes us to do. So, I'm off work tomorrow. The only thing that matters is the Cabaret Club. Well, we need to complete... So, the 3 things I want to complete are the Cabaret Club, the postcards to the man by Goro-chan, and completing Kiryu's money-making scheme as well. Those are the 3 things I really want to do, and maybe testing out a couple of the minigames that I haven't done. But I can't really think of anything else to do after that. I think those are the last things we need to do. So, we'll do those things, and then I think we'll be just completely done with that game. Forever. Incoming Mahjong sub-story. Sounds good. Like I said, maybe some other shenanigans if we have time. I don't work tomorrow, so we could see a very long stream. Unless I get surprised with some stuff tomorrow. I think that's it. So, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks specifically to Jer, Noah, Wit, Lob, and Nick. And Zap. Zap said hi. You didn't miss Zap this time. I don't miss Zap every time, but I do miss him very often. I'm sorry, Zap. So thanks everybody for watching. Tomorrow things happen. So, good night. Have a day. And I'll see everybody next time. I'm going to bed. See ya.